And welcome into another episode of Tiger Territory, part of the Foul Territory Network, a Tigers podcast. I'm Kieran Steckley, and with me are a couple of guys that every weekend is Players Weekend. Austin Jackson, Cody Stavenhagen. What's up, fellas? How you doing?
No, I'm good, baby. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Glad to have A-Jax on. Not a bad week, not a bad road trip for the Tigers. You know, you take 2 series, you win 3 of the first 4 in Minnesota. Thought some of the at-bats were better. Kind of a mixed bag with your pitching performances, right? You saw even Scooble have to really not at all as best, but grind out 7 innings. You know, you got a big outing from Rafael Montero to help you win a game. Kyle Finnegan continues to be good. Charlie Morton's been pretty good. Chris Paddock was really rough on Sunday. So I don't know. That's where we're at. I think things are trending back up. Tigers are 9-7 so far this month, but that lead in the AL Central that everyone was panicked about not long ago, back up to 8.5 games.
Yeah, we were just talking before we, press record about August, and we probably should have recorded earlier. So we're going to get back into that discussion because it is kind of a fun topic to go over. So like you said, 9-7 in the month of August, but you started out 2-4. So obviously trending in the right direction. And then specific to this twin series, the way I would kind of look at it is like the Tigers are built to be a team that is going to win by 3 runs when you throw the ball over the first baseman's head. Like they're gonna make more of the correct plays than you are and make less of the incorrect plays than you would. And that's more or less what we saw this weekend. And now 125 games into the season, the Tigers have a 73-52 record. So we got A-Jax on. I went and looked this up. The 2011 Tigers, 67-58 after 125. The 2012 Tigers, 67-58 after 125. So a little bit of a repeat there. And then the 2013 Tigers, I love this, 73-52. The same record that the 2025 squad has. So overall, things are okay, but the month of August can be a trying month. So let's just set up, Austin, if you could just tell us, we as fans and media say like the phrase like the dog days of summer, August, blah blah blah. Well, is that just something that we say? Is that real? The dog days of summer, the August, element of it, Austin, is that like a real thing, or is that just something we make up, guys who watch the game?
Listen, I don't want to speak for everybody, but for your boy, I felt it. Your boy felt it during these times right here. And I mean, I don't know if it sounds kind of cliche to say that, you're training, right? Your training is what, that's in the off season, and the things you do during the season are the things that, when you get to this point, you're not fresh, but you're also not broke down. I believe in that, like, because I felt that and I've experienced it during this month. And the body is broke down. The mind is starting to, like kind of weary a little bit. But everything, again, the things that you train for in the offseason, these are those days that you train for, right? Like you literally go into the offseason not thinking about just I'm going to get a good start to the season, but how can I maintain my physical strength throughout the season. And obviously a lot of that is done in the off season to build the strength up, to build the body up to withstand 162 games. But it's also about the things you do during the season, right? Like it's a lot of the training and getting there, getting your lifts, getting your stretches, getting the things done, with your trainers to essentially like keep you fresh or as fresh as possible throughout a long season. So these days, they're important, and I think that from at least from my experience and plan, I think that these are this is the month really that can make or break a team. This is a month where a team can just get hot out of nowhere, and you're looking at them in your division this whole year as being a team, that's they're sticking around, but they're not close enough. And then this time right here is when they might catch fire. And you're surviving, kind of like we talked about, just surviving, and you built up a really good cushion, a good little buffer, but you're not playing that same quality of baseball, that high intensity level of baseball that you were playing previously. And then a team gets hot. that's what can happen, in this month, the dog days. It's really a fight, man. It's a grind. The whole season is a grind, but this is a time of the season where a team can really make a push and really put some pressure on a division leader. And I actually love these days because that's what it was. Even if we weren't in it, which we were in it a lot of the times, but it was always about spoiling it for somebody else. So that's what you got to look out for. In these days right here, when you're the top dog, you got a team like, well, I'm going to make you earn it. And if, as a team, if, collectively, you're not still on that same goal, guys are getting tired, injuries, things like that, that can make a big difference right now at this time. What team do you have going into the end of the season? Do you have your guys healthy? Is everybody on the same page going into the for that playoff push? These days are tough, man, but I love them because it brings out the best of you as a player and as a team. So it was always fun, but these are crucial times, man. It's time to lock it in and, rely on, like I said, that training that you put yourself through in the off season and also the things that you're doing during the season to maintain your body so you can get through it for those playoffs.
Austin, we were just talking about off air about just looking at past champions and how did they perform in August. I went back a little further. The last World Series champion to play below 500 in August was the 2017 Astros. They actually had a really rough month. They went 11-17.
Wow.
No, they came back and went 20-8 in September.
See, that's different.
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, granted, these are all good teams to begin with. That's why we're talking about them. But
exactly.
Red Sox in 18-9. The Nationals in 2019, 19-7. 2021 Astros 18-8. 2022 Braves 17-11. Rangers in 23 were 15-12. Not as dominant, but they're still playing above 500 ball. And then last year's Dodgers went 19-8. So maybe there's something about these teams having their mettle tested a little bit. Recent champions have not really gone through it. They've continued to play really good baseball even in August.
Yeah. Well, also variety of types of teams there too, which I find interesting. Cause I mean, all that stuff that Austin was saying, does a 22-year-old, a 24-year-old realize all that when they're, kind of fresh in the game, or is that something that you got to learn with experience? I don't know. But it does seem like also August, oddly enough, I was just kind of going through in my head. I was like, April/March, beginning of the season, everybody's excited. May, especially for these northern teams, it's like, it's finally starting to get a little bit warm. Like, that's exciting. Then June, you're kind of figuring out everything. And July, you have All-Star break, that anticipation, trade deadline. And August just kind of sits by itself because obviously September speaks for itself. But August just kind of sits by itself. It's kind of funny. I literally was just thinking through all that stuff.
I mean, look, I don't know if anyone cares about the perspective of a writer, but they show us graphs of like how stories perform throughout the year. And, you see spikes around spring training and the start of the season. And then around the trade deadline, there's a big spike. May and August are 2 months where like no one's really paying attention. Football is starting up. Kids are back in school. People aren't reading about the Tigers at quite the same clip. For me, you feel not as creative. Maybe the stories aren't as good because you got some big storylines coming in September, right? Mm-hmm. And you just came off the stress of the trade deadline. And it's like, well, it's August, what is there to say right now? Like, we're just kind of waiting and seeing until we get to September here. Like, I feel like everyone in the game feels different pieces. Like, this is when the season starts to feel long. I've heard players refer to it as angry August. I don't know if that was a term when you were playing. People start to lose their patience, all right, because the year gets long.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But that's when you can get caught slipping, right?
Yeah.
Is when it's like, man, this is getting long. This is just a regular Tuesday game. That's the game that you got to get because they're feeling that too. On the other side, they're like, it's a regular Tuesday game. And you might be playing against somebody who's just out of it. And they're just trying to spoil your chances to get there, right? But I honestly, I loved it, and I don't know if it was just a matter of the locker room that I played in that nobody ever got like that. It was like every game mattered, and you felt it. you know, and I'm sure that in a locker room where you have a contending team, they're going through that same thing. Like, hey, let's don't let this get us down, you know, because this is that weird time of the year where it's like you mentioned, it's getting long. It's kind of, you know, like it's the same thing every day. That's when you got to put the foot down right there. That's when you can really make a difference and separate yourself. Because again, you got a team in Cleveland over there that's kind of like they're playing some different style ball right now. That's kind of like I don't know if the Tigers don't if they just have one of these weird spells where they just can't get it going. And then you got Cleveland over here. This what are they 8.5, 9,
8.5? But it was 5 not that long ago.
Yeah, exactly. It got weird. It got real weird. Everybody started getting hold up. Let's button that top button up. Hey, and no more of this. You know, we buttoning them up. Now we getting serious out here. You know, nobody got chains on. We gotta lock it in a little bit. But seriously, that's like the things that can happen though. But that's again, that's what I love so much. That's what I love to see, because again, it brings the best out of the team. You know, guys are gonna go in slumps. Pitchers are gonna I don't want to say struggle, but just kind of go through a little where they're not themselves or who we've been seeing, right? But, you know, being able to go out there and grind out in that bat each and every day, especially right now, that's going to determine who I feel like who you are. Who are you right now when it's a regular Tuesday, when it's a regular Wednesday, and it's not a lot of fans? Who are you in those moments? Those are the moments that I feel like is going to determine who you are at the end of the season, you know, because when those games turn up, then it's a little late. It's a little late to try to get that passion and all that. Hey, it's got to be every game right now. And, you know, if you don't have that right now, you could easily see something that you built throughout the whole season just get wiped away. Because everybody stopped caring, you know, at this time. You know, they're not even in it. Well, you just let a team come in here who's not even in it, come in here and sweep you or win the series. And now you got somebody behind you that's chasing you. They're looking at that. I know we're going to talk about that. They're looking at that. I looked at that for sure. If we lost the game, I looked up there and I was like, dang it, they won.
Yeah.
It's the truth, man. Like, I looked at that type of stuff.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but on the other side, we'll get Austin to go a little bit more in depth about how much score and standing watching goes on at this time of year in the major leagues. But first, a word from our sponsors. The dog days of summer means it's time for the boys of summer to kick it into gear. And the best way to cash in on your baseball IQ is with DraftKings Sportsbook. Never bet on baseball before. It's simple. Pick a guy to go yard, hammer some live odds mid-game, or just ride with your squad and hope for the best. No spreadsheets, just vibes and dingers. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FOUL. That is code FOUL for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right, coming back here, as previously mentioned, you know, with the Tigers maintaining a lead that has certainly shrunk from its peak, but now I would say is a relatively comfortable 8.5 game lead in the AL Central over the Guardians. But, you know, once it gets to 5, I can tell you fans on social media are stressing about it a lot. But like from a guy in the clubhouse, like how much of that is part of your cognitive like space over the course of a season, especially as things get closer and later to the end there? Because I'm just guessing. I feel like it's one of those things that like it's important to note, but at the same time, you could let it eat you up if you let it. So like, you know, how much standings and scoreboard watching goes on right now, Austin?
I mean, I think like you said, it's important to know, like, we're not just out here green, like, right? We ain't just out here just like, oh, well, oop-de-doo, like we lost that game. you better know what's going on around here. Because you don't want to get yourself in a position where like we sat out here and we're just playing baseball and we're just controlling what we can control. Yeah, that is the truth. But while you're thinking about that and going through your do day, this team over here in your division is playing really good baseball. So to me, that's more of like an incentive to like, we got to get it together. So I look because it kept driving me. It was something that I needed, right? Like I didn't want to like, again, just be green and just like, I'm just playing baseball. I needed that push at this time. Give me something that's going to fuel me. Give me something. Y'all are playing good. All right, bet. Like that just means I need to step my game up and do what I can do for my team to win. What am I capable of doing to help this team to win each and every night? So it was I think important for me to watch, and I think a lot of guys do too, because at this point in the season, if you don't have like, what are we playing for? Yes, we want to win every game, but when you have that motivation, knowing like, dang, they already played, they already won. It does something to you. It does something to the psyche, man. Like when you go out there and you just play different. Whether that's you need to play a little bit more reckless or a little bit more free, or you might need to put a little break on it and play a little bit more caution and not go dive for that ball, just recklessly and potentially let this be a triple right now and with no out. So it means something to me, and I think it does for several other players too. And there might be the players that don't worry about that stuff. Everybody's different. But I think for me, it helped me. It helped me at that time to really lock it in, knowing that a team was close, knowing that they just won that game already out on the East or West Coast. I don't know what time zones and all that. But I would look up there and, you would see final and you'd be like, oh, man, they won that game. Hey, bro, we got to win this game. Like, and you would notice it with guys in the clubhouse and down in the what am I trying to think of? Down there, we're sitting in the place about to play baseball. I don't even know what it's called no more.
The dugout?
Woo, got it out of there, baby. I got it.
Yeah, right, Austin?
But no, man, like it's been too long. But but you feel that sense of urgency, like, and then it's like, yes, let's get it. You need that, and I think guys, it does something. It motivates them a little bit to look up there and say, they lost. Let's win this game. Or they won. We got to win this game. You know what I mean? So I think it did something for the teams that I play with, because I would notice guys look and they would talk about it they would talk about it in the clubhouse. They would talk about it in the dugout. And I think it did something to, the focus level of guys, where the at-bats changed, the defense changed, the pitches changed. So it was awesome. It was awesome to be a part of that, to see where everybody can like elevate their level of focus at a time when everybody was beat down.
Well, Cody, one of the things that we're observing in real time is like, how does this team and this leadership kind of handle this situation? And obviously AJ's been through every single aspect of this as in his baseball life, especially as a manager. But I'm just curious. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? AJ a bit. Like, what do you think his message is during this time to guys? Because is it still just the whole like win today's game thing, or like can that expand when the circumstances and what's at stake is a little different?
That's an interesting question. I know AJ every now and then will get a little more animated behind closed doors than he likes to let on. Not to say he's like, throwing tantrums or anything, but he's not always just the boilerplate answer in front of the cameras, right? Like, he's a human, and like, he's a competitive, intense guy too. Like, he wants to win these games. But I do think the whole like win today's game, focus on today is like, that's real in terms of it being a consistent part of his message, because that's something you can always lean on. You can always go back to when they lost 12 or 13. It's what he was telling them. Hey, have a good day today. Execute your at bat. That'll add up. Like, all that stuff that we hear all the time. There's a degree of reality to that too. I think the Tigers should bring in Austin, though, for a little speech about how to get through the dog days, though. That's kind of, I think you're right. Like, if you're, 24, maybe you're not thinking of it with the perspective of someone who's been there and been through it and now kind of can look back on the importance and how to get through. I think maybe we need a little guest speaker in the clubhouse just for a little reminder that maybe you're not getting from the manager, the people who are in there every day.
I get them boys pumped up, and I won't shave either. I ain't gonna shave my head. I ain't gonna do none of that. I'm going in there straight Kimbo on these boys. Like they not ready for it. No, but I mean, it honestly, I would be all up for that though, Cody. But I don't know how much these guys would be looking to me for advice. But I took in so much when I played, and I really made sure that I listened and I paid attention to a lot. You know what I mean? So I got an opportunity to really take a lot in from a lot of most likely Hall of Fame players, Hall of Fame guys. And I really took that in on a daily and made sure I made that a part of what I did. And man, like it's something when you've never been there, you never done it. But when you get to look around or you get to hear from somebody who's been there, it kind of is like, okay, this is what I can expect. Obviously you got to go through your journey by yourself. But when you can kind of hear from somebody who's been there and knows that, hey, I know you're tired right now. I get it. But they're tired too. You know what I mean? Like they're tired too, but what's the goal? What are we trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? What are you even playing this game for? You know what I mean? Like those type of things right now is where you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what do I want? Do I want to achieve the greatness? Like, do I want to get to that point in the season to where, people like I can become a household name right now. You know what I mean? Like that guy or that team that like, man, hey, they were really good all year. They hit a little down trajectory a little bit, but then they picked it up, and then they were the team that we were expecting and hoping them to be. They were that team. So I'm ready for the speeches, man. Like I might get in there and say a whole bunch of nothing, but it's gonna be one thing I say though that they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm riding with him. All that other stuff he said, I don't know nothing about that. But that one thing he said right there, Kimbo got it. With that Kimbo, brother, I can take that hat off. They're gonna see that cul-de-sac. They're gonna be like, let's get it. I'm rolling.
That's why I love doing this, man. I didn't think we'd get multiple Kimbo references on this podcast, but I'm not mad at it either. We're going to take a quick break, and then afterward, we will ask Austin about what it's like to face your former team. But first, a word from our sponsors.
FT fans, do you want to have confidence when you go out in public? Absolutely. We can't all wear a backwards hat like me, but you can get some True Classic fit shirts. It almost looks like, oh, wow, this shirt was tailored for me. Nope, it's every True Classic. This John is soft, it is smooth, and it makes you look a little jacked. I'm just saying.
And Kratz, you are jacked, and you are spot on. True Classic is the spot to go if someone's like, where do I get shirts? True Classic. The colors are fantastic. They've sold over 25 million shirts to more than 5 million customers. Their shirts just win. The feel, the tailored look, the price. We all wear True Classic on FT. I mean, Cam Maben literally can't say enough about them too next time we have Cam on. Hit up trueclassic.com/foul. Give it a shot. Upgrade your wardrobe and save on True Classic at trueclassic.com/foul. That's trueclassic.com/FOUL.
All right, coming back here, we witnessed today Chris Paddock, not have himself a very nice outing. He did kind of gut his way through 5.2 innings. He gave up 9 hits, 8 earned runs. He was hit hard all day. He managed 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. And this is actually his second time facing his former team, the Twins, on August 5th. So talk about the dog days right there. On August 5th.
I think he's tired of seeing his old boys too.
4 innings pitched with 4 earned runs. He gave up 6 hits and 2 home runs in that game as well. So yeah, I would say he's probably tired of facing his former clubhouse mates there. And Austin, this is something that you can relate to. Like, you were a trade deadline guy as well. You're obviously traded to the Tigers during the offseason. So you had various opportunities to face, former teams in your career. So what is that like? What is that like when you go to a new team and you got all this other stuff going on, and then you go to the familiar confines against familiar faces and all that stuff going on. What is that like?
I'm just being honest. I'm trying to kill him. I'm trying to kill him. It's not.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we could try to be like, yeah, you go out and you see guys shaking hands and things, but in your mind you're like, I'm trying to kill y'all. Like I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. And I don't know. Again, I don't know how it is for other guys. I can only speak for myself, but I'm smiling, but it's like it's not a real smile like you might think. Like I'm like this, and I'm really trying to beat y'all really bad. Like I really want to beat y'all bad. And I think that's just something else that you can use for like ammo, right? Like and a lot of times it's dependent upon how the two sides departed. And but for me, I just think that anytime you try to play a team that traded you, you're trying to go at them. And it didn't always work out. I didn't always get the best of them, but I was definitely trying to though. I'm trying to, kill the team that traded me, because it's like, okay, well, you thought that I wasn't good enough to play for you. So I'm going to spoil something. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a catch. I don't care if it's a bloop single. It's going to be, I'm going to make a difference somehow in this game to make you be like, dang it, man, this dude right here, just try. He just don't want us to. You're right. I don't want you to win. I don't want you to win another game playing against me. I don't care. That's just how I am. I'm built like that. You don't want me. Well, I don't. I'm trying to get you every time. Then
some fire out of Austin today. I like it,
man. Yeah,
it's competitive, man. This is high level sports. What are you doing if you're not trying to kill him and look at the standings while you're doing it? Come on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, how did you feel? This is a little bit off, not necessarily Tigers related, but how did you feel about the Yankees? Like, because obviously that was we talked about how, like, your process of signing with them, and then you were traded before you got a chance to debut wearing pinstripes. So, like, how did you feel, facing the Yankees? Obviously, postseason elements there included.
Bro, I tried to get him every time. I did, because I mean that was something for me. Like, I always dreamt about being a Yankee, getting drafted by them. That was a big reason why I actually chose to go play baseball. I was like, man, I'm getting drafted by the Yankees. I watch Derek Jeter and Williams. I watch these guys. Everybody did. So going through the minor leagues and having the opportunity, play in that farm system and really work my way up. I envisioned myself being there, which we all should, right? You got to envision where you want to be at. But when they traded me, I was like, I will never, if I have something to do with it, I will never let y'all get there again. And I feel like I had something to do with spoiling a few of those, little tenures that they tried to go in. So I feel like I didn't do it by myself. I felt like my teammates felt what I was trying to do. They was like, you don't like them, do you? It's like, no, I don't. I want them to suffer. I don't ever want them to make it to the World Series again. So no, I went at them hard. I'm not gonna lie, and that's no joke. Like I really tried to make it a point that when I went at the Yankees, man, I was trying to get them so much that I and listen, I was just a small little part, right? But don't get it twisted though. I could move some things around now, Cody, Kieran. I could do some things, but it was so much to one time. I think I even told it, like when CC struck me out one time, and this might be all in my head. I don't care, but that's fine. Well, he struck me out, and I told you, he was like, "This is my city." I'm like, "Why are you saying that to me? Like I'm just a small little, why you said it to me? Like I said, like, oh yeah, like this is where I want to be." Like CC was, I used to love playing against, because I feel like it brought the best out of me too. Kind of elevated my focus. Playing against a team that you dreamt about being on. They traded you. Anytime I got a chance to go at them, man, I did, and I had some fun battles with them though, because you always knew that they were gonna be in the mix. So I always knew that I had an opportunity to try to keep them from achieving their goal and not letting them get another World Series. So it was fun. It's fun. It also kept me fueled with fire, and a team that I could always look at and say, I'm gonna make y'all regret that. So
We're
did my
we're
best.
getting way off topic here, but I think it's interesting. So much of this podcast has been about just the mentality you have to have as a player. With CC, you think he was yelling that at you, just to get himself going. He had invented some story in his own, like you didn't do anything to him, but he was so locked in that maybe in his head, he invented some reason to have a vendetta against Austin Jackson. And that's kind of awesome.
I really think that. I think he needed, because listen, I used to do little sneaky stuff off CC, like swing first pitch of the game and get like a hit. I know it irritated him because he's like, this like I'm over here thinking about the people after you, and then you want to go do some sneaky stuff. Like I'm just trying to get, first pitch of the game. Oh, seriously? You're gonna swing, hit a double on me? Like this dude. So I really felt like I used to do those little annoying things so much to him that in that moment when he struck me out, I think you hit it on the head. At least that's what I think. I choose to think that a Hall of Famer really was focused on me that day when he said that. He probably wasn't thinking about me at all. But
he probably should have been focused on you, Austin, because you're a career 292 hitter against the Yankees, and including 4-round trippers. So I mean,
I ain't got a lot of them, baby, but I got them. I'm telling you, no, it's serious though. Like we're talking about, like I was serious, man. Like I used to get up for those games, man, like for real, because I really wanted to prove a point. And I think a lot of guys do that, not just me. I think a lot of guys, they want to prove a point, man. Like if in your job, what you do, if they just ship you off somewhere, like you thinking you're doing everything you can do to contribute to that organization, that group, that business, you feel like you can really add value, but they don't see it that way. You're going to want to make them see it if you got the opportunity to show them. You're going to want to do it. It doesn't matter. You like, I don't care if I'm sick today. I want to prove to them that they missed out on this. So I did everything in my ability, God-given ability, to be able to try to prove a point. And I did sometimes. I feel like I proved that point.
100%.
Yeah, and just clearing out some stats that I wrote down earlier. A-Jax was a 266 hitter in 16 games against the Tigers after his departure. And I guarantee you, every one of those 17 hits that you had, every Tigers fan was like, "All right, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, we're good with that. We're good with that. We're not trying to kill Kimbo Slice Jackson over there."
I didn't become Kimbo to after though, man. I didn't become Kimbo to after. They were more like Dave Chappelle, probably.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Probably like, we ain't worried about Dave. He all right. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Well, let's wrap up here on another light note. This past weekend was the Players Weekend, where guys got to wear special cleats, special bats. So actually, I'm wearing right now, if you're watching on YouTube, I got the Riley Green Players Weekend hat, just for the occasion. So, how cool is this, A-Jax? What did you do? What would you do now for these special things that the players get to do this weekend?
I mean, it's awesome. I think I love that they give the players like they don't have enough of a platform to really, express themselves. But I think it's cool. This is really cool for the fans. Just another thing for the fans and the players to really kind of express themselves. And, when I was playing, I feel like it was just so long ago. But, we had custom cleats. I think I had created some custom cleats and, had a different color themed bat. But what I see these guys doing now, I'm like, that's crazy. Skittle cleats and chains, and I think it's cool, man. And I honestly, I wasn't that type of dude to pull off that much swag. I tried to keep it real simple. But me right now, I think I'd throw on me about 4 chains. I think my bat would be, it depending on who I'm playing for. I'm like doing some city themed, like what's y'all's. I need to incorporate all that in the bat. I want you to see it all in the bat. and that bat might not even touch a ball. I don't know, but you're gonna see it on the, you're gonna see it on TV. But the cleats will be fresh. I would absolutely deck my cleats out, and I say I will Nike ID because they ain't sending me no cleats that special. So I'm getting the same cleats everybody can get. It's the same colors, ain't nothing. But I would definitely freak it out, man. And I would the chains, man. Like the chains is getting crazy. I love how they're accessorizing everything with the chains and the bit. I'm like, I don't think I could pull that off, but I would definitely try for Players Weekend though, man. Like I would express myself in that way. So I love that the guys are doing it. I think it's really cool for young players to kind of see guys being, like, hey, we still like things too. We're still obviously keeping it professional, but they like their nice things. And I think as long as it's, one thing that I think that is important during this time is to really still keep it like, we do all of this, but we still go out and play the game, right? Like we still go out and play the game hard. We still play the game the right way, and not let these things that we do for the fans make them or the younger players think that it's just about that. It's just an expressive thing for the players to be able to, customize things, look cool, and really, just make the game fun. It makes the game fun. I loved having A-Jax on my jersey, bro. That was so cool. And I still got it. I still have those jerseys, and I think it was really cool to be able to, have your nickname on your jersey and things like that. And it's also, it's cool memorabilia for you. And I love this. I love this time, man. I wish I could do it again, but now I'm trying to accessorize my little guy, and I'm like, yo, we might just go back to just basics though. Like y'all get too much swag out here. Y'all think y'all, these dudes. Hey, Cody, I'm saying, bro, they got oven mitts. They got oven mitts,
and they ain't sliding head first.
They ain't nobody. They won't even let you slide head first. That's the out. It's illegal. They don't even let you slide. So why do you have an oven mitt on? Tell me, please, why? You know what I'm saying? Why do you have a shin guard on? None of y'all have ever hit a ball off y'all shin. When you do, trust me, you're gonna know. Okay. What do you have an elbow pad for? We have a coach throwing you balls right down the middle. These kids, they drive me crazy, man. I love them to death, bro. It is so funny. So, like, obviously, back on what you're saying, I think this is really cool, man. For the players and also to, just fans, man, to be able to see guys express themselves. And I wish I'd have did it a little bit. I wish I'd have taken a chance a little bit more. I wish I would have. Hey, that's another. Just take the chance, man, because you don't want to look back and be like, man, I wish I'd have did a little bit more. I wish I'd expressed myself a little bit more. So I love when I see guys with wild stuff, man. I'm like, do it for the dudes that was too scared to do it, man. So it's an awesome time.
I'll never forget Nick Castellanos going by Nicholas just so he wouldn't have to come up with a nickname for Players Weekend. He put Nick on his jersey.
Oh, Nick. Gotta love Nick, man. That dude. He was something. He was something, bro. Like he pulled the swag off though. I give him that. Nick was good.
Swag, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you can't tell Nick he ain't who he think he is. Right? I'm telling you that right now. Nick is who he think he is, and that's how it should be.
Believe that.
I don't care what you say.
Perfect. Anything else, boys, before we jet out of here? That was a fun episode.
That was good, man. I enjoyed being on here with you fellas, man. It seems like it's been a long time, so it's awesome.
No, thanks for having us, man. That was some good stuff. That was some stuff from the mind of a player that you can't get just anywhere. So thanks, Austin, for joining us. Thanks, Kieran, for some excellent hosting, some excellent questions as well.
As always.
Yeah, well, you guys can follow along on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Cody Stavenhagen, at Tiger Territory _, at Kieran _Steckley. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're trying to keep growing YouTube. So please, everybody, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can go to tigerterritoryshop.com and get your Tiger Territory merch to prove to everybody how much you love ball. That's and love and no ball. tigerterritoryshop.com. Apple, Spotify, subscribe, 5-star review. You guys know what to do. So for A-Jax and Cody Stavenhagen, I'm Kieran Steckley. Everybody have a great day.